Okay, this week we're going to learn about the internet. Okay, obviously, internet is the most important thing. Okay, for our class, for the world this time when it comes to mass media. Of course, we're going to talk about internet. So this week we're gonna learn about internet, but I want to go specifically at social media. Okay, so if I want to talk about internet, I'm going to go specifically about social media. So but before we proceed with that, let us look at the history of the internet in brief. Okay, I don't want to repeat again how internet started and so on. I think all of you can read that. Okay, all of you can read that. Okay, and I've also put a link, okay, in your goals. Okay, so I want you to have a look at this video. This is really interesting. I've got this.
Do you want to make $1,000 today and then $1,000 a day every day? You will only need 5.
Skip this. Okay, let us look at this.
Every single day, we upload 4 million hours of video to YouTube. We send 682 million tweets. We post over 67 million Instagram pictures. 4.4 billion of us use the internet, and collectively we create 2.5 exabytes. That's 2.5 million terabytes, or 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every single day.
And a significant proportion of all of that data, searches, news, messaging, social media, video streaming, goes through here.
This is Telehouse North, one of the most important parts of the internet backbone. It's one of 4 buildings here in London full of computers, cables, cooling equipment, and sheer geekery.
The internet was built on many earlier ideas, but the big one happened exactly 50 years ago this week.
The work had origins in 1969 when the American Defense Department, specifically the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, decided that it needed a network to connect about a dozen university computer systems together in order to promote sharing of information and acceleration of research in artificial intelligence. And so they promoted the design and development of a packet switch network, which they called ARPANET.
On October the 29th, 1969, at 10:30 in the evening, the first message was sent over ARPANET. A computer at the University of California in Los Angeles sent a word to Stanford Research Institute in San Francisco. The word was login, although the system crashed before they got to the G. Nevertheless, those 2 nodes became hundreds and then thousands and then millions of connections. A global network of networks now consists of over 1.2 million kilometers of submarine cables, sometimes laid as deep as Mount Everest is high. These connect massive server buildings, and immeasurably more smaller cables connect those to individual computers. An interconnected network that Vint Cerf and Robert Kahn named the Internet.
It's important to understand that the internet is not the World Wide Web. The web is a great invention. It's the way that data, web pages, services, and documents are arranged, accessed, and addressed. But all of that sits on top of the hardware that is the internet, which allows many networks to talk to each other in a really clever way.
So, say you want to watch a cute video of a cat. Well, your request to see the video shoots out of your device along regional networks and at some point races through Telehouse North and off across the globe to where the video is stored. And this is where it gets really clever. See, sending the whole video in one go down one route will likely mean that it will get stuck in traffic and take ages. So the video is torn apart, broken up, split into little packets, and each one makes its own way back down different routes.
And when they start arriving back at your device, they're juggled into the right order. And once enough of the start of the video has arrived, there's your cat, as cute as you wanted. This is how information spreads across the world. But unfortunately, it's not always the right information.
We have a tough problem ahead of us, which is to try to help people distinguish good quality information from bad quality information.
One of the big problems seems to be that these days we're all locked in our own echo chambers. The information we hear comes from people that we've chosen to listen to. So as well as democratizing information access, the internet seems to have isolated us from rational debate and made it really hard to distinguish facts from opinions, from fake news.
Great. Okay. I think this is a really, really good introduction of what internet is all about. It's really interesting. I kind of know how internet is all about, but I think there's a lot of information given in the videos that's quite interesting. For example, the first two words that are being transmitted is login. But however, they only managed to do LO. So we know that how the internet started is not like how the internet that we are seeing now. It is from a system called ARPANET between one university to another. So they try to talk to each other, and now it becomes as big as now that the internet. So World Wide Web is not internet; it is an application that is managed in the internet. So it is another really great invention. So we need internet, only then we can open our World Wide Web. And then another important, I think, application right now is social media. So the issues now is what I'm going to talk to you now when it comes to mass media is social media. So I don't want to talk about the internet because you know what is internet. So for you to be able to run social media in the internet. Okay, for those who are coming, can I know how many people are you in right now? How many of you? Yamin seorang juga?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tak apa. Kalau Yamin boleh join lah. This I'm actually recording the class, so I think you can just stay. Inshallah, if you can ask question, you can ask question. Okay. So I put like there are several videos like introduction to the internet if you want to watch it. But the one that I showed you just now is quite interesting from the BBC. They talk about very briefly about how internet started. Okay, and he talk about until we are now, which is in the social media world. Okay, so in the social media world, this is probably the most interesting and the most relevant part that we want to know. Okay, if you want to know about the internet, I've given you the clips. Watch the history of internet. This is really, really interesting. Very technical, how internet started. It started with the ARPANET, this nodes, that nodes, the packet and not packet, and so on. You can watch this. But today we're going to talk about, this is also interesting that we have watched just now. We talk about social media. This is when you would differentiate between new media and old media. Okay, new media and old media. So what is the difference? What is new media? What is old media? Okay, so what differentiate between new media and old media? Okay, so okay, so the new media is what we call as Web 2.0. Okay, that is let me move this. That is the new media. The new media is what we can call 2.0. The old media is the one that we've learned previously. Newspaper, what's more we learn about? Newspaper, radio, television. That is old media. The reason why we call it as old media, because it is one way, mass communication. Okay, you only you sort of you cannot interact with them. You sit and listen. Okay, you make an interact. You can write like a letter to their editors and so on, but it takes a long time to do that, and probably it won't reach the editor. So this is a very mass media. We call it as old media because you cannot participate. Okay, the new media, are looking now from the internet, okay, it's the starting of the internet, particularly until now, social media is what we call new media. So social media is part of what we call new media. The reason because it is because of the participatory culture. You can participate. Look at the Twitter today. I think all of you have Twitter. You can hear all of us talking about what's happening right now, the flooding, you know, the complaining, the asking for help, critical of the authorities, you know, the success and so on. You can see that because that's what new media is all about. The audience can participate, okay, and there's a virality. You watch something that is viral because the citizen participate. In the old media, in television, the student not participating. The citizen, we just listen, we just watch it. That's what we call old media. Okay, so the new media is the web, what we call as Web 2.0. Okay, it was built on the argument of participatory culture, where it gives a pathway, a path, jalan to users to be active. Okay, so to citizen to participate. The movement to participate. Macam-macam movement sekarang ada. Movement hashtag ni lah, hashtag tu lah, hashtag gagal ni, gagal tu, macam-macam ada. So the movement coming from new media, where the old media, where the audience are passive. Okay, so that is the passive audience. However, sometimes people would fight lah, betul ke old media ni passive? Yeah, because old media, when we watch television, sometimes we discuss it with our family, we discuss with our friends. It's off record. Okay, it's also active, but when we call new media now, it's like active in the platform. Okay, for example, you read the news. It's an old media because you just read the news, but in the new media, you can read the news and you can reply again, retweet with comments. That is new media because you are participating and you are active. So Web 1, okay, in this case, when it comes to Web, okay, 1.0, Internet and World Wide Web is what we call as Web 1.0. Okay, Web 1.0 because it's only give you information. It's like an old media. It's like a television. It's like a radio because it's just a computer and text, and we just scroll through. Okay. Web 2.0 is the social media. Okay, Web 2.0 is the social media. It is where we actively participate. Okay, in the information. We create information in Facebook. We can create our videos on YouTube. We can create, so we are become active citizen, not like Web 1.2.0 or in old media where we are passive. We just receive information. Web 2.0, we create the information. However, in Web 2.0, our information still being controlled by companies like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. So still, you know, Facebook has its own algorithm. Twitter has its own algorithm. Although your post is based on what is popular and not popular, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram have the power to control the post. Okay, but in Web 3.0, it is said to happen very soon. Is where there is no this kind of company. No, there's only one Web 3.0 where when you post something, so nobody will control your information. The user is going to control your information. What is viral? What is not viral? Nobody control. So in Web 3.0, the user is the king. Okay, the user is the king. This is where the cryptocurrency comes in. Okay, if you have heard about cryptocurrency, right now everything there is no one platform. Everybody can speak to each other. Everything can speak to each other. So now maybe you know, Facebook cannot speak with for example, if you have a coin you can only buy the coin through Shopee, or you can buy through Lazada, or you can buy through Amazon. This is Web 2.0. In 3.0, no. You have one coin, you can use it boundlessly. It is Web 3.0. Okay. So, however, people say that that would be quite an issue in the Web 3.0 because the control or somebody is trying to come in. Wait, yeah. Okay. Oh, there are a lot of you, mashallah. Are all of you okay? Are all of you affected by banjir? Tak ada?
Tak ada.
Alhamdulillah, no.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, kalau ada soalan tanya tahu saya tentang yang ketiga-tiga ni. Okay. Kalau kita boleh tengok this thing ya, ini saya nak tengok what is Web 3.0. Let us look sekejap kat sini. Nak tak?
Look at this. If low fixed deposit rate, which is going lower from here on, bothers you, then watch this 55 seconds message I have for you. Now, the fact is there is an investment in Malaysia which gives you easily double or...
Okay.
I did a quick Google search, what is Web 3.0? After a few comments on previous videos were asking me to cover it, and someone in our free Discord suggested it, but I didn't really get an answer. In fact, I got a few answers that didn't really match up. So if you're watching this video, get ready to learn exactly what Web 3.0 is and what it means for cryptocurrencies. Welcome to Whiteboard Crypto, the #1 YouTube channel for crypto education, and here we explain topics of the cryptocurrency world using analogies, stories, and examples so that you can easily understand them. In this video, we are going to explain what Web 3.0 is, how cryptocurrency ideas tie into the evolution of our current internet, and what it means for you as a user. Before we officially start this video though, I just want to say that there's not some internet encyclopedia that's verified by the Institute of Global Technology that has a strict definition of what Web 3.0 is. So instead, I'm going to give you a rough definition of what the internet says Web 1.0 is, what a lot of people are saying Web 2.0 is, and then I'll explain this new phenomenon that a lot of people are calling Web 3.0. Let's start with 1.0, an initial overview of what the internet was. Between the years of 1991 and 2004, the internet was mostly a bunch of static pages, meaning that whenever you loaded them, they just showed some stuff and that was it. Some called it read-only. There wasn't any logging in or interacting with posts or viewing analytics. Most of the early internet wasn't even profitable by ads. It was mostly just like one big Wikipedia, all hyperlinked together. Now, of course, with time, we slowly made improvements, and things like Flash and JavaScript added many new different features. However, during this time, the users of the internet were consumers. They went to the internet to consume information. Next, we have Web 2.0, from around 2004 until now. During this time, the web evolved a lot, but one of the biggest changes was the interactivity of the internet. This meant that not only did we get information from pages, but the web pages started getting information from us. As we viewed Facebook and YouTube and performed Google searches, these centralized companies started collecting data about us so that they could serve us better content, which in turn would make us stay on their websites longer. This meant more money for them, but eventually they realized they could package up all the data they had collected on us and sell it to advertisers. Web 2.0 is the age of targeted advertising and the lack of privacy for its users. Now, to be fair, we willingly gave up this privacy too for cool apps like Facebook and Twitter. In Web 2.0, me and you could both view Facebook.com and see two very different news feeds because the page depended on who was viewing it, which is an important note for a difference in Web 3 that we'll talk about in a minute. The content on your feed is the company sorting data by information that you know that you gave them, like likes and how much you watched a video. But if you look at the ads that they show you, that is them sorting data by information you didn't know you give them. When you went to go eat tacos last night, they knew that. When you drop your kids off at school every day at 8 a.m. except for Fridays, they knew that. And there was even that one article that said machine learning started showing a guy some parenting ads because they knew he was going to be a father before he did. If it wasn't machine learning, it was probably because his girlfriend used their public IP address to do a search on her symptoms. And the machine learning algorithm probably already knew when she was ovulating anyways. Whatever the case is, how they predicted this, one centralized company controlling all of this data, whether we want to or not, is scary. If you've enjoyed this video so far and want to give the algorithm more data to crunch, consider clicking that like button. It helps our channel grow and makes our team feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Next up is Web 3.0, and this is what you came to learn about. Web 3.0 is the next evolution of the internet, probably utilizing blockchain technology and the tools of decentralization. In Web 2.0, you were the product as you were browsing social networks. But in Web 3.0, some believe that you will be the owner of your content, the stuff that you post online. Now this is kind of true, so if you want to post to stay up, it'll stay up, but if you want to take it down, they say in Web 3.0 you can control that, because as we all know, usually when something is on the internet, it's always on the internet. Here's one example that's already real. Odyssey is a blockchain alternative to YouTube, where videos can be posted and creators can earn library tokens, which are basically a reward for enticing viewers to watch their videos. The thing about Odyssey though, is that they can't really stop a video from being posted. If someone uploads it and someone else in the network wants to share it, they technically download that video and then let others watch that video and download it as well. Kind of like a big torrent network, if you know what that is. To expand on this, your post couldn't get taken down because your post wouldn't just be on one of Facebook's servers. It would theoretically be on thousands of computers around the world, ensuring that the blockchain social network you're on is not attacked or censored. Theoretically, this means there would be a lot of illegal and hateful things posted, but it would be in the name of freedom, of which the users of the networks could probably decide on a system to reduce that harmful content. But that's for another video. In Web 3.0, experts say that we will reach the point of the internet where every company is ran by a decentralized group called a DAO, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And if you want to learn more about what those big words mean, we have an entire video on that topic and what they are used for. However, DAOs mean that there are no CEOs or presidents to impress. Those with the most tokens get to vote on how the company changes, not limited by a government or some family tradition. In Web 3.0, there will be no censorship of social networks like Facebook or Twitter. One controlling authority cannot shut it down. Lastly, one of the biggest things in Web 3.0 is that your digital identity is not 100% connected to your real world identity. This means I can view pages, download things, make purchases, and any other activity on the internet without being traced to the real me. Now, there are many ways we can anonymize ourselves online, but bingo, I think that might be a future video idea. So hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Wrapping it up, these may be long-term ideas of those who think about Web 3.0. What Web 3.0 really means for us is that in the next decade, you might be able to buy Amazon gift cards using MetaMask and pay with Ethereum, or that you could anonymously leave a like on one of your friends' posts using one of your hidden wallets. It's not going to be a bunch of life-changing stuff all at once. It'll likely be a series of ideas that grow together until centralized companies like Facebook and Google are disassembled by legislature, while decentralized, unregulated DAOs grow to replace.
Okay, so maybe you can watch it later if you want to watch it. What it's trying to say is in Web 2.0, we are controlled, our data is controlled by the organization. We don't know that each of our move on the internet is being tracked by Facebook and Google and others. Unfortunately, okay, we know that, but it is so addictive, we continue using it. But in Web 3, however, the owner of the videos, the owner of the programs, the owner of our posts is still owned by Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. In Web 3.0, we are the owner of our content. So for example, if we created a video and put the videos, if the video is being shared by other people, it is our videos. And people can give us coin because they are watching our videos. The more coin that we get, the coin can be bought, we can use it to buy anything. Tiket kapal terbang ke, whatever it is ke, because everything are decentralized. So that is Web 3.0. So the user going to be very, very powerful. But the problem that the video said that, imagine, for example, you have a hate video about Islam. okay, video that hate Islam or hate other religion, which is totally wrong video. At this moment, Facebook, YouTube or Twitter can bring it down. Web 3.0, you cannot do that because the owner is those who produce the video. The more people share all over the world, the more that person gonna get coin, and nobody can bring it down. So Web 3.0 is really interesting, but at the same time, it's really, really scary. Okay, that is the future soon, they said, very soon. No regulation. Okay, so we can read this as we can see web. Okay, so Web 1.0 is the beginning of the internet, the web browser, the World Wide Web. Web 2.0 that we are right now, we can produce a content, and our content is still being controlled by Facebook or Twitter and so on. In Web 3.0, it's decentralized. We create a video, we post the video, we control the video. The video is ours. Those who want to share and download the video, they can give us coin. So the coin we can use to buy anything that we want online. So it's very much the user-driven activity compared to what we are right now. Right now, we only can post the video, and so the owners is Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube lah. Okay, so when it comes to social networking side, it changes the mass media. Okay, it changes our life right now. I think all of you are digital native. You kind of like know what is being brought up in the social media world. Okay, so what great thing about social media is it has created a lot of culture. Okay, the first culture is social media to help us to connect with people in a different interest. Let's say you play games. You play games and you meet so many people all over the world. It's not possible if there is no new media and there is no internet. So social media help us not only to maintain social network. For example, we have Facebook of our friends, our old friends, but we also can meet new people. Okay, so social media can help to cater diverse audience. Okay, let me say lah what happened right now on Twitter, for example, semasa flooding. It seems like it's all viral. Semua pasal banjir, semua dikongsikan di social media, as if we thought that things are worse right now. Things are probably the worst that we have experienced. But this is not the first time negara ada banjir. Negara telah mengalami banjir, terutama di Kelantan, Terengganu and others. There's so many times. And even KL and some of the places pernah banjir. However, the magnitude is not as big as right now, not only because the banjir is bigger, but at the same time, because of social media. People are sharing their experience. Everybody can share. Semasa banjir dulu tak ada social media. Ada sok khabar akan pilih mana yang dia nak aja. Orang-orang yang sok khabar kan dia ada orang-orang menteri atau orang-orang yang penting saja yang dia nak tengok. Tetapi social media, like it cater to everyone. Everyone can share. So as a result, bila I tengok Twitter tu kita rasa macam sedih tengok keadaan orang, because everybody can share right now what's happening. But it's not that yang dulu tak teruk juga. Dulu pun teruk juga. Okay. And one of the example I watched on social media is very interesting. That a lot of help coming to Shah Alam, because a lot of people on Shah Alam are on social media. Compared to, I don't know whether this is true or not. This is just what is being said. Compared to what happened in Jelebu, for example. Like not many people in Jelebu yang ada social media atau ada anak dia yang ada social media to help their parents to post. Then as a result, people don't know that kat situ pun banjir. But everybody thought that the worst happened, for example, in Shah Alam. Of course, it's happened the worst, but the reason because people have more access to social media. I don't know whether this is right or not. This is just an observation. I read like social media every day. Okay, so social sites also vary in the extent which they incorporate new information. For example, some sites for Twitter for example blogging. Kalau Facebook lebih kepada post and story yang panjang lagi. Kalau Instagram dia banyak selfie, dia banyak gambar dan sebagainya. So every social media are varied, okay? Okay. Another thing is like kita kena tahu differentiate antara social media dengan social networking sites. Social media is the big umbrella. Okay, big umbrella of type of social media means that user can create, macam kata social media ialah user can participate and user can create their own information and user can interact both ways. This social media. Di bawah social media ada social networking sites. Okay, so kalau Wikipedia, YouTube itu social media, tapi Facebook, Instagram itu social networking sites. Sebab apa social networking sites? Social networking sites ni berbeza sebab dalam social networking sites we can create profile. Dan ada social media yang tak payah create profile. But dalam social networking sites kita create profile. Okay, so for example kita punya Facebook, saya ada profile berbeza kat Facebook, profile berbeza kat Twitter, profile berbeza kat Instagram. Lepas tu dalam social networking site kita ada kawan yang kita add atau kita share connection. It is very very important. Oh dia ni kawan dengan siapa, dia ni follow siapa, dia ni siapa kawan dia. That's really important in social networking sites. And then we can view other people punya social networking site depends on the security yang diberikan. So itu membuatkan social networking sites ni sangat unik. Okay, because of kita boleh create kita punya profile di alam maya, dalam Facebook. So when you start to create your profile, you are becoming other people, like your alter ego. Okay, saya macam ni tapi dekat dalam social media tak tahu macam mana social networking sites kan. Okay, and then kita ada friends pula, siapa yang kita nak jadikan friends, siapa yang kita nak jadikan friends. Kalau dalam Facebook kita punya friends berbeza, jadi kita tak banyak sangat cakap, we are not open on Facebook because ada mak dengan ayah dengan cikgu. On Twitter our friends are different, so we are more vocal on Twitter. On Instagram are different, so that gives us different way of acting. So what is so powerful about social media is, unlike old media yang lama ni, sebab kita everybody just listen and dengar and then we discuss later offline. But what's so powerful social networking site is, for you and for me and for others, it changes the way we behave. Okay, because of, that's why I talk about this profile and not profile and so on. Okay, so that's what make it really really powerful. Okay, besides what we call our life is being controlled, blah 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 blah, but we ourselves, when we interact with social media, it changes the way. Okay, so I think there are some of you here, ada apa-apa nak tanya soalan tak? Yang tak faham ke atau you clear, it is okay? Boleh ya?
Boleh.
Boleh, doktor.
Okay, so section social networking sites backbone. Okay, so SNS tu ada profile, yang kita ada friends kita, then dalam profile kita tu kita ada forms yang kita nak tu, kita macam define ourselves lah. Sebab itu dalam social networking sites ni, what's good or bad about it is, sometimes if we are very shy in real life, social networking site macam Facebook, Twitter membantu kita untuk berkomunikasi, because we are sort of a different person, because it's online, we don't have to see our face and so on. We can just chat, we can show our true life. Okay, dalam real life kita segan nak cakap yang kita pandai menyanyi atau kita pandai main muzik, tak nak tunjuk macam mana kan. Tetapi dalam kita punya social networking site, dalam TikTok dan sebagainya, oh yes, we can show. That's a good thing. But the not good thing about social networking sites is because kadang-kadang profil tak sama. Dalam real life ni kita rasa rendah diri, dalam social media kita macam menunjuk-nunjuk yang bukan diri kita. So akhirnya kita jadi rasa macam lebih depressed. And kadang-kadang kita compare dengan kawan kita yang lain. So that is not good thing about it. So that's not like, it's not to say that, oh, social networking site is good or not or so on. It depends on people and how they are using it. Okay. So you see, okay, this is visible profile. Kenapa dia penting? Profile tu penting kerana kat situ yang kita create siapa diri kita, siapa family kita, siapa follower kita dan sebagainya. So setiap satu dalam profile kita tu menggambarkan who we are. Whether it's the same as our real life or not the same as our real life. Okay. Okay, so social networking sites also organized around online communities. Okay. Okay. So for example, in this case, social networking sites are organized among people. Around people, who are the people, who that we know, the communities. That's why we are in social media. That's what's good about social media, because dia let us in touch with people. Kadang-kadang orang yang very shy or introvert ni, dia nak social media because it helps them to be with other people. We need, in this life, we need to be with other people, regardless how apa orang panggil tu individual you are. We always need people, because if we don't have our friends or close friends or our family, it's difficult for our life to function. Okay, for example, hari ni tak payah saya bukan tanya saya punya rumah tu bocor, and then saya nak tahu siapa yang boleh tolong saya, nak cari plumber. So saya pergi ke Facebook, tanya kawan kat WhatsApp group, tanya dekat sini. So we need people for our life to move. Okay, so for example, saya nak pergi to Johor Bahru, and then I need to know how's the situation at Johor Bahru, banjir ke tak, kalau tak banjir macam mana saya pergi tengok social media dan sebagainya. So like it or not, kalau ada orang yang macam terperap di dalam bilik tak nak keluar, for example, kesui bosan dengan dunia or whatever it is, you need people, you need social media. Social media help you, okay, to live. That is what makes social media very powerful. That's what makes new media powerful compared to the old media. Okay, compared to the old media. This is the timeline of social media. Okay, dia bermula dengan 99 ada Friends Reunited, kemudian MySpace, kemudian LinkedIn, Facebook 2004, Flickr, ya betul, Bebo atau semua ni, Twitter 2006, Instagram 2010, Pinterest, Ask.fm, I don't know what is this, Snapchat, Wanelo, apa ni, Amazon Collection, ni last ni apa tahun 2000 berapa ni? Sorry, saya tak nampak. 2013 Vine. Kemudian yang sekarang yang tak ada kat sini yang popular apa dia?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, ya, WhatsApp group. Lagi satu, lagi popular. WhatsApp tu dia macam komunikasi, dia macam communication. It's social media but it's not social networking sites. Apa dia? TikTok. I tak ingat tahun berapa, but it started in China. TikTok really take over like the world kan. I ni agaknya dah tua kok. I cannot understand TikTok sangat. I tak boleh tengok orang-orang tu semua. It's fun, I suka gelak-gelak kadang-kadang. TikTok tu seronok, tapi I tak boleh lah macam anak I boleh tengok di TikTok tu lah, but not me lah kot. But TikTok is really popular. TikTok is social networking sites, but you ada profile you. I tak tahu dia social networking sites ke, dia tak social networking sites. I tak sure. Okay, so it is a TikTok. So this is like the history of social media that I want to tell you. Tahun 1997, 6 Degree was launched. I nak tengok kat sini tahun 90 berapa? Oh, dia tak ada 1997. Ada kat sini lagi awal sepatutnya. 6 Degree was launched. It's the first social media site, social networking sites. Kemudian Friendster, kemudian MySpace, kemudian Facebook. Now the most social networking site yang paling banyak digunakan apa? Nombor 1 di dunia. Siapa tahu? Teka. Facebook, betul. Facebook nombor 1. Almost 90% those who have internet have social media. 90% of Malaysian who have internet are using Facebook. Okay, regardless whatever it is lah. Kenapa you rasa Facebook popular? Walaupun you tak guna sangat. Saya jawab dia. Kenapa?
Banyak berita terkini.
Tapi Twitter pun ada. Twitter lagi terkini. Tapi orang guna Facebook juga.
Macam old school.
Old school lagi tak nak guna. You ada account je tapi you tak guna. I think one of the reason they said like because Facebook ni adalah untuk maintain kita punya connection dengan kawan. So kita kena dia juga because that's why we maintain our connection. Because Facebook is like maintaining relationship dengan kawan, dengan cikgu, dengan mak bapak, dengan parents dan sebagainya, dengan kawan lama sekolah dulu. So Facebook is always there. Twitter lain dia punya function. Twitter kita rasa macam paling ramai guna, sebenarnya tak ramai pun, paling sikit guna kat Malaysia Twitter, tapi viral dia. Instagram pun ramai orang muda gambar, tetapi Facebook tetap orang nak guna. Regardless whether you like Facebook or not, you always create an account, probably your first account on Facebook. Because this is where you want to see your friends. Kadang-kadang you tak nak, bila you dah besar you tak nak share pun apa-apa kita kan. So itu yang Facebook reason kenapa dia popular. Oh, you boleh baca kat ni, ada 7 social media sites, ada antaranya dia kat sini lah, 6 degrees, macam Snapchat, mana yang ada tadi yang tak ada, Bebo, MySpace, semua ni dulu lebih awal daripada Facebook. However, they cannot become Facebook. They fail. Facebook still maintain. Okay, still maintain. Okay, so itu yang membuatkan dia power. Okay. Sebelum kita habiskan kelas ni, there's one thing that kita kena tahu lah when it comes to social media, because you've learned about mass media sebelum ni, movies, you learn about television, you learn about newspaper, and you learn about publishing dan sebagainya. But at the end of the day, it's all becomes digital because the internet have taken over our life. The newspaper become digital, movies become digital. We're going to look at it next week. Movies become digital. You learn about Netflix. Publishing becomes digital. We learn about the PDF last time. Last week you belajar tentang bagaimana digital punya platform telah berubah. Everything become digital. And then we're not going to talk about that, about the movies and everything, but we talk about in this particular the social media. When you have social media, when you have Web 2.0, when you have social media, Web 2.0, because Web 2.0 maksudnya kita participate, gaming, kita participate, kita dah ada our life, dalam alam maya, kita ada our life real. So which one yang lebih powerful? Alam maya ke real life? Saya tanya you all, mana yang powerful? Alam maya ke real life? Mana yang spend time lagi lama?
Alam maya.
So unfortunately, so alam maya sebenarnya lagi lama. So kadang-kadang kita kena stay true to ourselves lah. Sebab tu ada orang kita panggil macam dia ada dua personality. Dia tak real. Dalam real life dia berbeza, tapi alam maya dia berbeza. So dia kadang-kadang benda tu jadi bahaya. Kita tak tahu, mungkin sekarang ni ada banyak isu macam depression lah, stress dan sebagainya. Adakah kita sekarang ni lebih stres daripada dulu berbanding orang dulu, atau sekarang ni orang sama je macam dulu, cuma sekarang ni orang lebih banyak cakap sebab ada platform. Dulu pun stres juga, cuma dia tak boleh cakap, dia kena dengar je kat television. So that would be the question sebenarnya. So I don't want to be very critical dekat social media ni. Sama juga dengan banjir teruk sekarang ni, adakah dulu okey, sekarang tak okey tak? Because dulu tak ada social media, sekarang ada social media, so orang boleh express dia lebih lagi. So that's probably the case lah, okay? So apa isu dalam social media? Dalam social media ada beberapa isu lah yang dibincangkan. Pertama ialah self-presentation. Kadang-kadang kita ni betul ke kalau kita present dekat social media ni? Kan, we always want to show our happy side, happy je semuanya. Tapi kita ni authentic ke kan? Happy. Tiba-tiba bila kita ada perkara yang sedih, berlaku, kita terus macam dah tak boleh handle because there's nothing to post on social media. The most important life is our alam maya, but alam maya we only show our perfect self. And then whenever things happen, kita tak perfect lagi dah, kita tak boleh alam maya. So tu ada isu-isu depression, kadang-kadang na'udzubillah bunuh diri dan sebagainya. It's just because of this self presentation. Kita pun nak impress orang atau kita compare dengan orang. Kita tengok orang tu macam Allah life dia perfectnya, semuanya bestnya ni. Tapi sebenarnya itu selektif. Kita tak tahu apa jadi. At the end of the day, dia effect kita. That's the problem. Network side, kita data, we can collect data. For example, kalau you berminat tentang IT, social media ni is the best where you can get all the data about other people. Okay, because then you can know about other people, because people are using internet, then you cari, you search Google, you klik apa yang you suka, you beli barang, itu semua data. Kadang-kadang macam dalam video tadi, the system knows better about us than we know about ourselves. Dia tahu kita suka apa, kita suka warna apa, because that's our behavior online. That's data. The third is online network. Online network tu maksudnya kita punya social life. Sekarang ni dalam online membantu kita dalam social life. Kita tak boleh cakap yang buruk saja tentang social media ni atau online web 2.0 ni, because it help us, of course. Macam sekarang ni lebih mudah kalau kita nak tahu nak baik motor dekat mana, nak makan dekat mana, apa jadi dekat sini, apa jadi dekat situ, siapa yang kita nak bantu, siapa yang perlukan tilam, siapa yang perlukan ni, semua kita boleh tahu di social media. So if there's no social media, kita tak boleh nak maintain that social network, atau kita panggil weak ties. Hubungan lemah. Hubungan lemah ni penting. Kita ada hubungan kuat tu macam dengan mak kita, ayah kita, kawan baik kita. Tapi mak dengan ayah, kawan baik kita ni, dia tak boleh bantu kita hari-hari. Dia bantu kita masa kita ada dengan dia orang. But untuk jalan, kalau contohnya duduk dekat kampus, tak ada mak ayah, tak ada kawan rapat, tak ada siapa pun, tak ada girlfriend, boyfriend yang rapat dengan you. So especially you nak live your life, you kena ada weak ties. Kawan-kawan you yang keliling tu untuk bantu you, nak ajak pergi makan kat mana, nak bantu ni, nak bantu tu. So social media membantu lebih lagi. Okay, kerana kita boleh get everything, almost everything. It can help memudahkan kita. Kita tahu kat mana makan murah, kita tahu kat mana ada discount, tak discount. Okay, all of that we can get social media, which we cannot get previously. The fourth issue dalam social media, dalam web ni adalah privacy lah. Of course, kita punya privacy. Kadang-kadang tak ada privacy lagi dah. Semuanya dah terbuka dah sekarang ni. Paling viral sekali apa sekarang? Paling viral. Nama siapa yang paling semua tak mahu dah?
Hanafi curang.
Hanafi. Itu yang nama semua tak mahu dah. Siapa nama ada Hanafi kat sini? Tentang aku. Apa ni? So that is there's no privacy in this life. I mean, I'm not talking about who's right and who's wrong in this case, but the privacy, like the most private part of people's life is actually now wide open lah. Itu social media dan sebagainya. Selain daripada kita punya information yang dibeli oleh yang lain.